There comes a moment when the mask slips, when secrets are no longer hidden, and when men finally see the truth that was always right there in front of them. And once that happens, the game changes forever, because knowledge is power. And when a man discovers this one thing, everything he thought he knew about women, about love, about relationships will never look the same again. Once men know, women can no longer play the same games. Once men know, everything changes. The first truth a man must wake up to is the difference between real love and conditional love. For years, men are told that when a woman says she loves you, it means she loves all of you, every part of you, with no limits or expectations. But when you look deeper, you start to see the patterns. You notice how her tone shifts when money is tight, when attention fades, when excitement disappears. You realize what you thought was unconditional is often tied to invisible strings, strings you couldn't see before. But once your eyes open, you can't unsee them. You start to see how much of her affection is linked to circumstances, to how safe you make her feel, how much you provide, how much you pour into her. The issue isn't that conditions exist. It's that men walk into relationships believing love is always pure, that sacrifice guarantees sacrifice in return. So they give until they're empty, they give until there's nothing left. And still, loyalty isn't enough. But when a man wakes up to this truth, he changes. He stops giving blindly. He watches more closely. He measures her actions instead of just her words. He notices how she treats him when he's at his lowest, not just when he's shining. And then he sees it, the silent contracts, the unspoken rules that were always there. What was called love was often admiration for his effort, gratitude for his consistency, or comfort for the life he imagined. That not the unconditional devotion he imagined doesn't make him bitter. It makes him wise. He learns to protect his energy. He learns to choose better. He learns to say no when it isn't deserved. And in that moment, the power shifts. He is no longer a servant to sweet words that show up only when she wants something. He no longer chases approval. He begins to understand that love is not just about what he gives, but also about who he is, what he stands for, and how he's treated when he has nothing left to offer. When a man understands this, the old games stop working. She can't dangle affection like a prize. She can't withdraw love to punish him, because he now knows the difference. Real love doesn't vanish when things get hard. Real connection doesn't run when the money slows down, when life tests him, or when he's not at his best. And once he understands that, he becomes unshakable. The second truth is the power of attention. Most men don't realize that attention is one of the most valuable currencies they have. From the moment he likes a woman, he pours his attention on her like water on dry ground. He texts nonstop. He calls. He compliments. He notices everything. And he gives it freely, thinking it's harmless. But attention is energy. And energy is power. Women know this. They know how much confidence grows from being desired, admired, and reminded of their beauty. For many, it's not even about love. This is about so high of being wanted. This is why so many men are strung along. They think they're building a bond, but really she's just enjoying the benefits of being pursued. When a man learns the truth about his attention, everything changes. He realizes that every glance, every compliment, every message has value. The more he gives away for free, the less it means. Because what's abundant is taken for granted. And suddenly he sees why his constant presence pushed her away, not because she didn't enjoy it, but because she never had to earn it. The moment he guards his attention, the balance shifts. His silence becomes louder than his words, his absence more powerful than his presence. She notices, she feels it, because controlled attention has value, and value creates attraction. From this point, he is no longer a chaser, he is a chooser. He no longer competes for validation. He invests in himself, his goals, his body, his growth, and suddenly his attention becomes rare. Women want his rare as desired. Women can no longer use his validation as bait because he knows at lounder under sichost van de ijzers. He knows it must be earned. The third truth is emotional control. Men are taught that to prove love, they must react. If she ignores you, chase her. If she withdraws, beg. If she tests you, explode to show passion. But this is how men become prisoners of their emotions. What most don't realize is that a woman's strongest weapon isn't beauty. It's her ability to control his reactions. She tests his anger, his jealousy, his insecurity. If he explodes, she knows she has power. If he panics, she knows she can manipulate his fear of loss. If he begs, she controls the terms of the relationship. But when a man learns emotional control, the games stop working. The silent treatment no longer shakes him. Mood swings no longer confuse him. Threats of leaving no longer scare him. Because he has mastered calm, he no longer dances to the rhythm of her emotions, and that strength unsettles her. His silence makes her think. His calmness makes her respect him, and his steadiness forces her to meet him at his level. The fourth truth is options. Men grow up believing women have all the choices and men must compete, that she is the prize and he must prove himself. This mindset keeps men trapped in scarcity. They tolerate disrespect because they think she's the only one. But the truth is, men have options too. They just have to build them. In their gym, in their careers, in their character, in their confidence. A man who builds will never be without choices. Once he knows this, he moves differently. He no longer clings to disrespect. He no longer fears losing one woman. He no longer settles for games. He understands abundance, not scarcity. Women sense it instantly. They feel when a man is not afraid to walk away. And that freedom is power. The final truth is self-respect. Too many men give everything in a relationship except the one thing that matters most, their dignity. They put desire above standards, romance above principles, beauty above boundaries. And in doing so, they hand over their crown. A man without self-respect is easy to control. Women see it immediately. They know when you're willing to sacrifice your peace just to keep them close. And once they know, they test you again and again. But when a man finally grasps self-respect, everything changes. He no longer negotiates his dignity. He no longer tolerates disrespect. He draws clear boundaries, not out of arrogance, but out of strength. He understands that love without respect is an illusion. And once he raises his standards, she must rise to meet them or leave. Either way, he wins. Because a man with self-respect cannot be manipulated. He cannot be broken down by beauty alone. He cannot be tricked by tears, anger, or silence. He knows his worth. And even if he loses someone, he does not lose himself. At the end of the day, the greatest shift happens when a man decides to open his eyes. When he stops giving blindly. When he stops believing the illusions. Once men know these truths, the games no longer work. The manipulation falls flat. The old tactics lose power. Because the moment men know, women can no longer control through illusions. The moment men know, everything changes. The moment men know, it's finished. Thank you for watching Magnetic Mindset. If this message spoke to you, don't just leave with thoughts, leave with action. hit that subscribe button and join a community that's here to transform the way you see yourself, love, and life. Until next time, stay magnetic.